If you find yourself typing the same prompts over and over into your Notion AI or looking to be more consistent with the way that you use it, I highly recommend the new AI skills feature. This allows you to save certain prompts and instructions that you might want to use again, saving you time and making your outputs more consistent. In this video, I'll go over how to use AI skills, best practices, and my free AI skill pack that you can download. If you find this video useful, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. Let's dive right in. To get started, let's go ahead and go over what are the AI skills and how to actually use them. So AI skills, as I mentioned earlier, is basically a way to store prompts and instructions that you can then call up just by either highlighting text. So as you can see, when I highlight it, you'll see all of your skills here, or you can also use it while you're in the Notion AI chat. And if I type @ you'll notice that all of my AI skills are here and I can actually use it. So if I wanted to use improved writing, I can just use that and click enter. So those are the two ways to actually use the skills. And when you start using it, there should already be a few of them included. And Notion always kind of had these skills in the background, but they were never editable before. And now you can really customize them, which I find really interesting. So for example, if I click here, you can see that it's basically explaining this to me. And then also if I'm now in here and now let's say that I want to use improved writing directly on just this page, I can click here and use that skill as well. Now, if I want to actually see the AI skill settings for that, I can go over to my settings and go to Notion AI. And then in the general section, if you scroll down, you should see skills here. You'll be able to see exactly which skills are currently here. Each one shows the name of the skill, as well as whether or not you want them on the text editor menu. The text editor menu is when you highlight the text and you see these options pop up here. So if you want them to be there, then you should definitely have that turned on. If you click here, you can actually open the exact skill page. So if I want to see what's actually inside the explain skill, I can open that page. You'll see a blue banner here showing that it's an AI skill. You can also see the actual prompt inside. Let's say if you want to create a new skill, you can go over to Notion AI, again to the bottom here, you can click plus add a skill. And if you click create new skill page, it's going to generate a template for that for you. And it kind of looks like this when you have that generated template where there's an overview, skill definition, and examples. And then here you can edit it just like a Notion page and start typing in it to make changes to your AI agent skill. If you don't have this as a skill, so if I go here now, it should be here. But if I remove this page as a skill, and if you just have a really useful instructions page that you want to then transform into a skill, you can always click the three dots over here, and then you can click use with AI and then use as AI skill. So if I just click use as AI skill, now it's going to just be transformed into a Notion AI skill, which I can then configure through here as well. And for example, have it show up in my text highlight selector. So now if I highlight any text, it's going to show my agent skill over here. One thing with these AI skills is that it currently works if you have Notion AI included in your plan, which means that typically you have to be a business or enterprise user in order to make the most out of these AI skills. However, unlike the custom AI agents, which are going to be running on a credit system starting next month, these don't require any credits or anything. So it's also a really good way to utilize the AI without having to use the custom agents if you're worried about cost. So now let's go over some use cases and also some best practices through my free AI skill pack called Clarity in Planning. And I think these skills demonstrate the possibilities of these AI skills so that hopefully it can give you a good base for it. So the first step is that if you do download this template, and we can go to the first one, the brain dump organizer, the first thing you'll want to do is go to the top right hand corner here and then go to the use with AI, use as AI skill. Once you do that, you can click configure, and then I'm going to add it to my text editor menu so that I can actually use this when I'm highlighting text. And just to go over this one, in the first line, it says what this actually does. And how I got to this conclusion in terms of how to structure my AI skills pages is that I used the examples that Notion had, and I noticed that it puts the first line as what it does. So basically this one turns messy thoughts into clear buckets and immediate next steps. So if you're doing a brain dump and you just want it to output something that you can actually take action on, then this AI skill could be useful for you. And the other thing that I took from Notion's own example is this part. So if a user selection is present, only change the content within the user selection tags. By adding this, it ensures that it's only making the change to the highlighted text. Or if I'm using it with the chat, then it's going to look at the whole page. But it just makes sure that I'm really constraining the AI skill here. The next important part is the output. So here I really make sure that it's really clear and easy to understand what are the exact outputs I want from this skill. So based on this one line goal of what this skill does, then this is the output that I want from it. And then I also put additional guidelines here. So do not add new information or make assumptions. Make this as actionable as possible. And here's where if you just experiment with it and try it out, you might notice more rules and guidelines that you want to put for your AI skill as you start using it. So as an example, here's my brain dump. And if I now highlight this, I can test it out. So I can now find my brain dump organizer here. So I can just click it. And now you can see what it's done. So it basically took the brain dump and turned it into tasks, projects, someday maybe, references, next 3 actions, and the original text like this. Now, if I want to continue chatting with this, I can actually click chat here and continue with that. And now if I want to actually use that AI skill in the chat, I can also reference it like this. So one thing that's cool with using it in the chat is that you actually have the ability to change the model that you're using. The next one I wanted to showcase is the weekly reset. This one is actually a little bit different because it actually generates a kind of weekly reset and summary based on either what you wrote, like your notes, or if you want to use it on a specific database, it's also going to do that for you. Why in the weekly reset skill, what I did was use these databases on top of the output. So in the output, you can see exactly what I want outputted. So again, it's really clear what the outline is that I want out of it. And then also in the rules section, I've put a little bit more. So if dates are mentioned, I want to preserve them and so on. So it's just a little bit more rules to keep the weekly reset manageable. And so how I think that this is really useful is that, let's say that every week you actually just want a weekly reset or weekly review based on some of the databases that you have. If I have a task database like this and I just want to copy the link to it, and I can go to my weekly reset skill, paste it in and mention it like this. So if you have projects, you have other databases, you can just add them all here. And then what you can actually do is now, if you're in a new page in Notion, you can call up that skill by typing @ and then again, you'll find the weekly reset here and then click enter. So here you can see all of the things like major reorganization project for my website and store. Think about website redesign, call the doctor about the appointment. And then if I go to my task list here, you can easily see that it's actually reading through my task database over here as well. And then it's also telling me what some of the quick wins could be, as well as what I'm waiting for, and so on. It could be really powerful if you connect more databases into this, like I showed. It also reduces the time, because if you've been previously mentioning 4 or 5 databases into the chat each time you want something like this, or like a report generated like this, then this is going to save you a lot of time. Of course, you can also consider doing this more as a custom Notion agent that happens autonomously on weekly cycles. But again, if you're worried about the credit usage or you don't want to have to pay an add-on fee when that launches, then this is a good workaround if you just want to use it within Notion. Just create this AI skill, add the databases and exact output that you want. So that's another use case that I highly recommend with the AI skills. Next, let's go over the AI skill, which is called Goal to Action Plan. So just like the other ones, I have a clear line on what it does. So turn a goal into a clear plan with milestones and next actions. Again, I've copied the important part. So if a user selection is present, only change the content within the user selection tags. Then we have the output. So again, it's a clear output on how I want it to be structured, and then also some rules. Now, if I go to, let's say I'm here, I just type out a goal and I'm having a bit of a blocker. So I just want the AI skill to help me by just taking this one goal that I have and then turning it into an action plan. And now you can see that it is written clearly: become a better writer, definition of done, milestones, next actions, risks and blockers, and so on. So I really like how laid out it is once you have a goal, and then it really comes up with something really nice that I can then work off of. So now the next thing I wanted to show is that just like having the AI skill read a database, you can even have it input into one. So let's say that part of the output is that I want to create pages for each of the actions that it generated directly into the tasks database that I have over here. Then what I can do is, now if I highlight this, my goal is to become a better writer, and I want to do the goal to action plan, then it's going to input those tasks directly into my task database, which again saves me a lot of time because I don't have to prompt it with that exact mention of the database link. And when something like this happens where it's going to start creating new pages, it typically switches to this chat interface. So that's one thing that it kind of does. So it's not just going to work from the highlight itself, but you can still now see exactly which tasks it added, and you can easily undo the skill as well if you don't want it. So now I can see all of the tasks it added. If I go to my tasks database, you can see it populated them all here. So that's another thing you can consider, is to then create an instruction that says create pages for each action, or create pages into a specific database when you want those outputs to go in a specific place. Next, I wanted to go over really quickly two more of them called decision clarity and messy note cleanup. These are again formatted pretty similarly to the other ones. This one helps you make a decision if you're wondering between multiple options and provides a really clean output for that. And then for the messy note cleanup, it also comes up with a output that's also quite structured so that you can take something that's really messy and then turn it into something a bit more easy to understand. And again, you can customize this. So if you want different kinds of sections or different orders, you can also reorder these and really make it the way that you want when you run the skill. So now I'll show you the decision one. So if I highlight this and then choose the decision clarity, and basically what it did was to break it down into the different options. What are the criteria, pros and cons? And then it also provides the recommendation on which option it thinks could be best, and also the next step. So if I like it, I can just accept it and see in a really nice way here. For the messy notes, if I highlight my text and I do messy note cleanup, again, if you're taking a lot of quick notes and it just looks really messy, you can just use this on a page and it's going to reformat it really nicely. So now it's in the structure that I wanted based on the skill I have here. I also wanted to quickly show you another type of example that's in my Ultimate Content Planner plus AI. So this template actually includes a skill pack as well, more for content creators. But what I like about the ones I have included here is that it actually does some skills where it will actually rate you some things. So let's say that I'm trying to test out this title and I want to ask my AI skill to help me check it. I could just click the title checker, which I just showed before, and it's actually going to give me some additional options and also a scoring. So I really like using it this way as well when it gives me a score. I think that's also fun and kind of motivating to have these structured guidelines on what makes a good title, and then having the AI run through it based on the guidelines that you give it. So that's another use case you can consider trying out, which is some kind of scoring system inside of your AI skill. Thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in my free AI skill pack, additional premium templates, or Notion services, be sure to check the description below. Let me know if you have any questions or comments, and I hope to see you all in the next video.